Hello and welcome to another episode of My Expert Computer Guys Beginner's Basics. How to resize images for use on your website, Facebook page, or whatever your needs may be. Today we'll take a look at Windows Paint, a freeware program called PicPick, and an online graphics editing program called PicMonkey.com. We'll also take a look at a freeware program called Modi, which will allow you to batch edit files, and I'll also show you how to edit images right inside of WordPress. So let's get started. When we take digital photos with our camera or smartphone, the size of our image depends on the settings used within the device. If you take pictures at the highest quality setting, then your images will be huge. The exact size depends on your device. Larger images contain greater detail and look sharp, but aren't perfect for posting online. Here's a screenshot of TechSmith's Snagit. As you can see, this image is huge. We could resize it to be this size, or this size, or we can make our images any size we'd like. You'll want to resize those images to get the best results. If you're using WordPress, the image size that will work best for your theme depends on the WordPress theme you are using. Much of the time, you can locate the best image sizes for your theme in the theme's documentation or help file. But how do you get the image sizes you'll need if your theme's author doesn't work this out for you, or if your theme is flexible when it comes to the image sizes you can use? That requires a bit of detective work. I use a screen capture program called TechSmith Snagit to take screenshots and work out the many image sizes I will need. Snagit is a shareware program. That means you can try it before you buy it. Generally, you get a 15 to 30-day free trial for a shareware program. Snagit is currently $39.95 in the US. A free alternative to Snagit is a program called PicPick. It looks to be a clone of TechSmith Snagit. The two programs are very similar. In this video, I'll show you how to resize images using PicPick and how to figure out the sizes you'll need to make those images fit where you'd like. I like Snagit over PicPick. I've used Snagit for over 10 years. Snagit does just a bit more and does it better than PicPick. However, PicPick is free. The choice is yours. Let's take a look at a WordPress site and I'll show you how to figure this puzzle out. This blog post contains a featured image. As you can see, the image does not fill the frame. It would look better if all of the images for our blog posts had a uniform size. Here is another look of this blog post I have on my local host for editing. As you can see, it looks much better with the image size filling the entire frame. Here's how the image looks from our blog posts page. And here's how the original image looks on our blog post page. If all of our image filled the frame, things would look much better. So let's determine the size we need to fill this frame. I'll use PicPick. PicPick can take screenshots of anything that appears on your screen. The program comes preset with shortcut keys to take various screenshots. You can also click here to take various screenshots. You can take a screenshot of the entire screen or a region of your screen. You can even take scrolling screenshots. For example, a screenshot of a web page that scrolls off the screen. Screenshots are also a great way to take visual notes of anything you'd like to save for future reference. If you, for example, get an error message from Windows, you can take a screenshot of the error message. Then when seeking technical assistance or doing a Google search, you can refer back to the screenshot. The uses for screen captures are limitless, and a screen capture utility is a valuable addition to any Windows computer. Windows version 7 and 8 have built-in screen capture tools as well. I will cover those in another video. I have the web page I want to take screen captures of already loaded in Google Chrome. Google Chrome is my web browser of choice. Before I take a screenshot, I want to check that Chrome is set to display the page at 100%. By looking at my zoom settings, I can see that this page is being viewed at 100%. The default setting for most web browsers is 110%. If you are using Internet Explorer, Firefox, or the Opera web browsers, be sure to set your browser's view to 100%. If you don't, your image sizes will be incorrect. A quick Google search should turn up instructions for how to check and change the size of your browser's view. To get started, I'll press the shortcut key combination Shift plus Print Screen. That means I'll hold down the Shift key while pressing the Print Screen key. The Print Screen key is generally located near the top right-hand corner of your keyboard on desktop computers and generally in the same location for laptop computers, although some laptop manufacturers often get creative when placing keys. Once we press the Shift plus Print Screen key combo, a set of crosshairs and a magnifying glass will appear on our screen. Using my mouse, I position the crosshairs where I want the capture to begin. Then I will press and hold the left mouse button to drag the crosshairs to where I want my capture to end. Using the magnifying glass, I can position my mouse to grab just the image and none of the background. This takes a bit of practice, especially if you're using a laptop computer with a touchpad. I want to position the crosshairs so that I don't have any of the white space, and I'm just grabbing the corner of the image. Then I hold down my left mouse pad and drag to the other corner of the frame. As you can see in the top of the magnifying glass, we also get the image size. Once we grab the screenshot by releasing the left mouse button, PicPick will automatically open the image in its editor. At the bottom of the program window, we can see information about the image size. I could also click on the Resize button to get a look at the image's dimensions. Width, 613 pixels. Height, 267 pixels. This is going to be a close approximation. It's likely this size will work, so let's give it a go. I'll load the original image in PicPick by going to File, selecting Open, and putting in the location of the file I need to change. Here's the original file size. Before I make any changes, I want to change the original file to a different name, so I'll save it with a different name. To get started, I'll need to resize the original image. So click on Resize, Image Size or Zoom, Scale to Specific Size. First I'll try the image width that I need. Because I've got Keep Aspect Ratio set, and we'll want to make sure that Keep Aspect Ratio is checked, when I change the width, the height is automatically set. Here we have an image size of 613 by 410. The image size that we need is 613 by 267. So let's see how this works for us. Now that we have our image width set, we can try the image on our WordPress site. I'll show you what this looks like. Go to the WordPress page and select Edit. Remove the featured image and set a new featured image. I've already loaded the image into the WordPress gallery, so I only need to select it and set it as the featured image. Click Update and take a look at the post by clicking on View Post. As you can see, it's not really what we wanted. It's a bigger image than we need. So we'll go back to PicPick and resize the image's height. The image's width is perfect, but what if we wanted a smaller, more landscape-oriented image? We'll need to resize the image's height this way. So back to PicPick. PicPick doesn't have fine grain control for cropping images. As you can see, we can set our frame, but once our frame is set, we can't reposition it without distorting our image. Plus, it cuts away part of our image. I'll press Ctrl V to release the wireframe and restore our image to its original shape. As you can see, there's a ruler on the side and top. We can move the wireframe at the bottom to resize our image and get pretty close to where we want to be. I'll release it there, but that's not really the part of the image that I want to show off. So I'll press Ctrl Z again and drag from the top. I'll have to do a bit of math to figure out how far I need to drag the top of the image down. So the image is currently 410 pixels high, and I want it to be 267 pixels. Subtract those two numbers, and we're left with 143. We don't get that much fine control with PicPick, but using the ruler, we can see that 140 is right about there. And then 143 would be just a little bit more. So we'll try that and see what happens. Grab the top, roll down to 140, and release. It's okay if we're not exactly there. We can be close and it'll still work. Here we got pretty close, 268. To get it the rest of the way, I'll just resize the image. This is not the best way to resize an image, but if we're only moving 1, 2, or 3 pixels, no one's really going to notice. Now, as you can see, when I change the height, the width also changed. We don't want that. I'll click on the Keep Aspect Ratio to turn that function off and return the image's width to 613. Click OK, and our image is resized. As I said, this is not the best way to resize an image, but because we're only moving it 1, 2, or 3 pixels, and maybe even 5 pixels, it doesn't distort the image so much. We'll save the image. I want to select a new name for the image, so I'll put in the image's new size, 613 by 267. Now go back to WordPress, edit the page, remove the featured image, set featured image. To tidy things up a bit, I'll remove the image that I loaded earlier, delete permanently, OK, and then I'll upload the new file. Select Files, and find the image right here. Open, set featured image, update the page. Now let's take a look by clicking on View Page. There, that's the look we're trying to accomplish. And that's how to resize an image using PicPick. Here's the same image loaded into Windows Paint. I've zoomed in so that we can see more of the image. To zoom, you press the Control key and move the mouse wheel or you can select View and zoom out and zoom in. Windows Paint doesn't give us the fine control we'll need to resize our images. If you click on the Home tab and Resize, you're presented with the Resize window. Click on Pixels and set the image's width. As you can see, as with PicPick, the height of the image is automatically reset. Click OK, and that gives us the image we had before. I'll zoom in. To crop our image using Windows Paint, we'll click on Select and go to the edge of the image. If you look down in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, you'll see the crosshair location. Right now it's 611 by 153. And if I move my mouse, the location moves with the mouse. So using the dimensions we worked out in the PicPick tutorial, I know that I need to come down 143 pixels. Make sure that the mouse crosshair is at the very edge of the image and at 143 pixels. Click the left mouse button and drag to the other corner and release the mouse. You'll see by the dimensions at the bottom that we have a wire frame that is 613 pixels by 267 pixels. Click on crop and our image will be reset to 613 pixels by 267 pixels. Save the image with a new name. I'll add the image's dimensions 613 by 267 and click on Save. And that's how you resize an image using Windows Paint. Resizing images using PicMonkey.com is very easy. To get started, click on Edit and then click on Computer. Put in the name and location of the file you want to open or select it from the list. Once the image is loaded, click on Resize and enter the new size of your image. We'll put in our width, which is 613, and click on Apply. Now we have an image that is 613 by 410. To get the exact proportions we'll need, we'll click on Crop. As you see, PicMonkey gives us this nice wireframe to work with that we can move around. I'll put in the height that I want, 267, and the width that I want. The wireframe stretches to the full width and gives us a view of 267 for our height. Position the wireframe where you'd like to crop the image and select Apply. Now we have an image that is 613 by 267. Click on Save and save the file with a new name to your computer. Here again, I'll use the image's dimensions for the new file name. Once I've added the dimensions, I'll click on Save to Computer, Save, and now the image is ready to be added online. Pretty easy, huh? We can also use WordPress to resize an image. Scroll down to the bottom, select Set Featured Image, click Upload Files, select Files, put in the name of a file, select Open, then come over to the right-hand side of the page and click on Edit Image. First, we'll want to resize the image as this image is very huge. I'll put in 613 and scale. Select Save, then go to the image, click the left mouse button anywhere on the image and drag to the opposite corner. This will put a wireframe on our image, much like the PicMonkey wireframe. Over on the right-hand side of the page, we can add our dimensions for the wireframe. I usually go 1 pixel higher on the height, as WordPress will sometimes readjust our image to be 1 pixel less than the number we have put in here. Then we can drag the wireframe where we'd like to position it. We can go here or here. Once we have the wireframe positioned, click on the crop button and our image will be cropped. Then we can click on the image. We see that we have 613 by 268. Set the featured image. Update our post. View our post. And you see that we have a perfectly formatted image. And locate the post in our blog directory, we see that we have a perfectly formatted image. Working out the sizes you need is a matter of taking good pictures beforehand and resizing and cropping your images afterwards. You may need to take a step back away from your image when you're taking your pictures to get more of a product or the object of your photograph into the picture. Well, that's all the time I have for now. I didn't make it to the Modi freeware program part of this tutorial, but I'll get to that soon enough. Until next time, this is Alan saying goodbye.